Hello, good afternoon, or good evening, whichever time you're watching this. This is Tom Lawless from Cymatic TV with your energy update. I've come out into town, well, I'm not really, I'm just on the outskirts. Been following this sort of female energy line that comes out of CHAKRAS and goes off in that direction, straight through that pigeon or dove coop, which is quite nice for a lady line. Lovely, isn't it? The energies that have been playing through, so the sequence is actually quite short at the moment. We have the heart, the third eye, throat, followed by the plexus solus, the solar plexus, but it comes in quite late. And then it finishes off with the crown and the root. There's nothing really in the sacrum. And that's what's possibly come out all this week about the energy, you know, sort of going through the earthquakes and stuff like that. Yeah, what's the message coming through? Okay, this is a lesson I've been learning all week really, which is quite nice. I've sold a house, I've got to move all the furniture and stuff like that, but also got to move all the crap. And you know what it's like? Well, not everybody, but some people may know what it's like. You know, you see that and you kind of think, oh, that's going to be useful. And then you realise you're kind of going, look, you haven't got the space, you haven't got the time, you're moving on to something new. And this is what it's all about, and it's letting go of it. So I've been throwing stuff away at the moment that I thought, you know, would be with me forever, as it were. You know, stupid things like deck chairs. You know, I've tried to sort of give them away. Tried to sort of sell them as well, but you know, it's just getting rid of the old and letting the new in. In order for the new to come in, you've got to have a little bit of space. So this is what it's sort of saying in the message, sort of release your heart so you can see clearly and speak clearly to yourself, then get on and do it. And it's not all about me, so it's not all about what I want and everything like that. It's just what's got to be done. So that's why there's lack of sacrum in it. And then it goes to the completion of the crown and the root. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going through the sequence again. And that's that one done. Throat and third eye. Okay, so there is a throat and third eye second rhythm overlay, which is throat and third eye and sacrum, but it is, I'd say it's underlay more than overlay. It's much more sort of, you know, set yourself right, you know, make it clear for yourself before you can be clear for everybody else. So there is that, and I think that possibly could have had last week. So last week you might have been setting yourself, you know, dealing with stuff, and that could be metaphysical as physical, and positioning yourself really, knowing that you're going forward to something that's better than what you've got at the moment. You know, if what you've got at the moment is fantastic, it may be a case of kind of going, okay, now I've got this foundation, what can I explore to my heart's desire? And that's what's sort of coming through this week. So it's the heart's desire and being clear with yourself and clear with the rest of the universe, and therefore you can then get into your solar plexus and actually get on and do it. That seems to be the message coming out. Let me just give you a quick squiz of where we are. We're just on the outskirts of my place called CHAKRAS, and there's a little church down there, down that way, and it's got a little spring coming out of it, and then you've got the mountains that I don't know if you can see through the trees that go through the background there. I'm certainly going to take a photograph and send it to you. But the funny thing is, you know, normally churches can give you an absolute heads up on the energies and stuff like that, but that little church down there is dedicated to the man who created CHAKRAS. And there is a little village that way just on the other side of the river, the Garonne River that runs along the base of the Pyrenees, is a place called Miramont-de-Comminges, and that has beautiful energy. It's one of the main crossing points in this area. And Saint-Gaudens, or the bloke who created Saint-Gaudens, who apparently had his head chopped off and walked 3 miles with his head in his arms, and then collapsed where they've apparently built this church. I want to believe, I really do, but, you know, it would be, I'd like to see it if someone's willing to have a go, you know what I mean? I know the headless chicken effect, you know, because they had a chicken that had his head chopped off, and he lived in the circus for I don't know how long. But anyway, I was back in the 20s and 30s, so we don't know about that either. But he set it up as an opposing power to Miramont-de-Comminges. And that spring, and I've just walked through that wood section there, and that spring is actually just runoff from this hill. So it's not an actual proper spring. So I was going to do it down there, and I thought, oh, the energy would be nice down there. Went down there, doused it, nah, not good. So that chapel may have a bit of a problem at some point in the near future, because it's like a wolf in sheep's clothes, you know. It's like a sheep in wolf's clothing, you know, one of the type. You know what I mean? Pretending to be something it's not. So, you know, I came here, and then that was there. So, you know, that's probably a better church. You know what I mean? I'm sure Jesus would be up with her, wouldn't he, Jesus? Yeah, so you just got to be careful of these sort of, and that's very systematic for today as well. This has been happening throughout generations. You know, you've got to be careful about, you know, not necessarily putting all your eggs in one basket, but just believing the baloney. You know, there's so many people out there that have power on their mind that they're willing to do or say anything in order to obtain it. So just be really, really careful of that. That's why I think it's really good to be set clear in your mind's eye, in your throat, so then you can say to you, you know, what is clear for you to do. And when you can do that, when you can express that for yourself, and at the moment apparently this week should be good for that, when you can express it to yourself, that means you can express it to other people around you calmly and clearly. You know, I put a thing on a Facebook, on a Facebook page with some photographs that I took of a beautiful sunset the other day, and I put a phrase on it which was, we all look at the world, the same world, differently, so we must appreciate each other's point of view. And this is really important. Even if you don't agree with this person, even if you do think they're speaking baloney, at least listen to their ideas, listen to their point of view. Then you can choose, you can take or leave it. Do you know what I mean? But just be careful of people who are looking for, especially at the moment, and this is going to be for the next year, I think, you know, be careful of people seeking power, because they're going to say and do anything, unfortunately, you know, because power does corrupt. So I would suggest you come out, because listen to, I know there's cars going on, but I can hear so many birds as well at the same time. It's absolutely beautiful here. We've got some lovely sunshine, and it just heightens that female energy that gives you that sort of, it's almost like champagne, you know, at least one glass of champagne. I wouldn't say a whole bottle, because then a whole bottle is much the same bottle of tequila, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? We all end up in the same state, but it's just beautiful. I've been doing stuff, as I say, I've been moving house, I've been having to throw stuff away. It's been a real moving week, getting things done, you know, and it's been good. It's been clarity for me. I've done a lot of creative work as well. I nearly forgot all about that. Tanya knows all about that. She'll tell you all about that at some point. Amazing. I think I've done one of the best pieces of work I've done in the way of art and expression through shape and geometry and stuff like that. It was really beautiful. You will know about this in the future. It's going to be coming out at some point in the near future. But, you know, yeah, so it's been also a very creative week, which is really good. Yeah, there's so much more to tell. But I have been really busy, and this is why this energy update is a one-to-one. So you've got a one-to-one, you guys, this time. You're not going to see any of the maps. You're not going to see any with the sun. I have been paying attention to it. We did go through that corona hole this week. Pretty heavy energies, but it was arson. You know, it was part and part with what was going on. I was getting stuff done, and it was solid energy helped me in order to sit down and do it, or move and do it, move house, move all the furniture, or do that bit of design and everything like that. You know, that corona hole came through. That might have been fizzing, you know, your top layers a little bit, really, because it's your bottom layers are going to be really charged, your root chakras and everything like that. So you might be in a stage where, you know, you pull out of life this last week, and you shouldn't have done, you know, because all it's just saying is sort of that sort of energy sort of kind of going, now is the time to move, now is the time to do. And some people obviously find it difficult, and then they sort of hunker down, so they pull away from other people and stuff like that. So it made it fizzy up here because it was less energy. So it was a little bit like two wires trying to connect, going, you know what I mean? So that's what you might have felt this last week with the corona hole that sort of came through. There's a lot of filaments on there at the moment. Haven't seen if those erupted, but the northern hemisphere is kicking off with some, he's joining the southern hemisphere with the sunspots, because that's all we've seen up to about now. We've had that calm period, yeah? So it sort of all went hectic right up to Christmas. And then from Christmas, it's all calmed down, and the energy of the earth has really stepped up to the plate. There's no doubt about it. I've just done this line again, and it's still incredibly large, much larger than it should be. Very clean, very light, very it's moving quickly, and these are the energies that are coming together through the pole shift and everything like that. But so the northern hemisphere is starting to kick in as well. So I think we're going to start seeing some sort of sunspots coming our way and erupting. I would have thought, what are we now, Friday? So I would have thought possibly some point midweek, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So, excuse me. So keeping up, you know what I mean, better out than in. It's natural. It's not that I didn't. It's not as if I did it in your face, you know. It just slipped out. That's age for you, isn't it? Slipped out all over the place. Now, so I think that'll probably come up next week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, what else is on the energy update? There's been loads of stuff on the pole shift, which I'm going to need the computer to go through that, so I will go through that. I am building information at the moment to do this sort of videos and on stuff like that, but I have also life asking me to get involved, so I am. So I guess you should as well. You know, I know it's not easy with lockdowns and madness like that, which the human race has gone into some sort of hysteria. So, you know, it's like an old granny that's gone mad in the corner of Christmas party or Christmas dinner, you know what I mean? Just give her a rum and let her sit down. You know, step away from society and just start building something new. It'd be great. I think it'd be absolutely brilliant. So, that has been your energy update for this week. Not quite, apparently. It's just, okay, so the message for this week is, that's what I want to remind you of. The message for this week is, open your heart, trust your feelings, see it clearly, your path in front of you, okay? See it clearly in front of you. Express it clearly through your throat chakra so you know where you're going and everybody else. Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.